Woo, boy! Welcome. How are ya? Good to be here. Welcome to another episode of the Josh Potter Show. It is I, Josh Potter, here with you once again. I want to say thank you, by the way, if you came out to Greensboro, North Carolina, North Kakalaki, North Carolina. Put your hands up, take your shirt off, twist it round your head like a helicopter. Remember that song? Who was that guy? You remember that? What was that guy's name? Everyone's screaming at their television set. Anywho, folks, John Scott's one of the guys. He took a picture. So many people took a picture, by the way, like at least a dozen, and one guy tagged me. What is that? Where are you putting these pictures? It happens every time, every show. Bunch of people take pictures. I don't see the tags. I'd love to share it. If you got a picture, share it with me, like John Scott did. John Scott, cool name, by the way, shares it with one of the most prolific enforcers in all of NHL history. John Scott was he was the first troll vote into the NHL All-Star Game. Where, like, people, they galvanized and they said, wouldn't it be hilarious if we got John Scott into the All-Star Game? And then they all just voted for it, and it happened. Anywho, JoshPotterShow@gmail.com. That's where you can send in your articles. You can send in your music like Ryman did here. Thank you so much, Ryman. I appreciate it. Good to have some... I mean, I love all the music Griff Parker does. The guy's prolific. He gives me hundreds and hundreds of musics. But Ryman... It's nice to get some new blood. That's all I'm saying. Get some other folks in there. Odd Track Numbers, another one that does it often. So send those in, JoshPotterShow@gmail.com. So many Roach reporters. I had some Roach reporters send in, like at least 10 Roach reporters sent in the same article this week, and we'll get to that coming up in the news. But first, oh, by the way, I was flying around all weekend, and I rode on the same model plane. The the CRN 550? Was that what it was? Or is it CJN 550? You know, the one that collided with the Black Hawk helicopter in Washington, D.C. The next day, I'm riding on one of these things. And, you know, I tweeted, I go, it's eerie riding on the same plane. What was the name of it?
It doesn't say.
Just type in CRN 550 and see if that comes up, plane, and then see if that's the plane that I'm talking about, or if it's the CJN. I can't remember I pride myself on my plane knowledge.
CRJ
550. Yes, one of those. And it's the same one, and the same model and everything like that. I always look, that's the one thing, I don't read the safety pamphlets when I get on there. I know the safety, we're going to die. You know what I mean? There's no safety. It's like when they go out, it's like, that's why they don't yell at you when you're sleeping. It's not like a muster drill. You know what I mean? They're like, yeah, we know this is all nonsense. We have to say it anyway for legal reasons. And so I'm just in there, like, zoomed out. But I do pick up the pamphlet, and I want to know what type of aircraft I'm on. That's something. It's almost like reading a blue book on a plane. I wish they gave the pilots profiles. Not because I care about, like, is this a woman pilot? Remember we watched that video on the program with Chase a couple of weeks ago where it was like people were like, oh, that's your pilot. And the people were like, what? People are still doing that. It's so weird here in 2025. People are like freaking out. I think when it's a woman pilot, they close the cockpit door so you can't look in there. And when it's a white man, they're like, yeah, open it, show him.
He's standing there.
Yeah, no, he's like greeting you at the door like, hey, welcome, how are you? And I think they have like also filters for the voice that comes on where it's like, oh, ladies and gentlemen. I think like they have, because I heard there was like one person that was like, oh, this is your pilot, Jody Gallagher. And I was like, what? I was like, is that a chick's voice? I was like, I think they're cloaking it for people who aren't paying close attention. Or it was that kind of lady, you know what I mean? Where she's just like, what's up? I think like, I think people would be fine with that. If it was a mask presenting woman, do you know what I'm saying? A masculine presenting woman. Would the people have the same sort of, when they see a chick flying a plane.
Bias.
Like if it was like a cheerleader girl, I would be like, whoa, okay, this is crazy. But if it's just like a chick that can like bench more than me and probably like better than me, I would definitely be like, I'm trusting myself with this person, you know? But yeah, no, I was on the plane and it was eerie just knowing that yesterday, and I watched that video like a psychopath. I don't know what it is about me. I'm a morbid person. Perhaps it wasn't like I was getting glee out of it or anything like that, but it's just so unbelievable when you can see this happen. You just go, holy. And as a person who flies so often, you just put yourself, you're imagining, like, I can't tell you how many times I've been on that approach in Reagan. You know, you come around the old Washington Monument there, and they were like about to land. That was like, they were in that moment where you're just like, oh my God, in 10 minutes, I'm going to go take it. And then I'm going to like go get my bag. You're already thinking about the Uber. You know what I'm saying? Like you're getting ready to get up. You're like, oh my God, I can't wait. Hopefully we don't taxi too long. And they were at that point. They were like about to land. And then all of a sudden just, and that is, what? Do they even get a second to know? I'm oftentimes in a Benadryl coma on a plane where I'm like, my goal is to fall asleep before we take off. And the thing that wakes me up is the of the wheels hitting the ground. And so would I have just been like against the wall like this, like sleeping against the window and just had a Black Hawk helicopter fly? I mean, do you even realize it's happening? It's crazy to think about. And being on that aircraft and just like my dumb brain just it was just surreal. And then I'm sitting there on that plane and it was exactly like that episode of Louie. I don't know if y'all watched it back, the old FX show. It shows him going on a road gig and he sits down in his seat, in the window seat on a small regional aircraft. And the largest man you've ever encountered sits down next to him and he's got his whole body's like, and Louie's like this against the thing. That literally happened to me. This poor man, I actually felt terrible for him. Like I didn't want him to feel self-conscious at all. So I'm like going into the wall even more. I'm like trying to melt into the wall basically so that this man is comfortable and he's not feeling, because I can tell he's self-conscious. He is a boulder of a human being, like tall and big, like big boy, you know? He had to get the extender too. That was I felt terrible because he's like quietly asking, can I get the extender? You know, like he's embarrassed, you know, and that's gotta be terrible. To just like have to go like, I'm flying already sucks. I can't imagine. It made me so thankful to be a tiny boy for that is exactly how I was. No exaggeration. Maybe even worse, actually. Like this is supposed to be hyperbolized for comedy effect. I literally lived that. And so I'm just like that the whole thing. And the poor guy, he was such a nice guy. I didn't want him to feel bad about it. So I'm slinking over in the side. And then I'm thinking while we're in the air, you know, like not only have Black Hawk helicopters been flying into planes, but also these panels have been falling off. You know, it's the whole thing. I remember my mom growing up used to tell me, don't lean against the car door because what if it just opens up and you fall out? And that always was stuck in my head. So like I would never fall asleep against the car door. I would always fall asleep on. So like now I have that same sort of echoed sentiment as I'm leaning against the panel of the plane. I'm like, if this thing flies open, I'm getting sucked out. I mean, this large guy's not getting, he's a good anchor. If I was on the other side of him, that would be helpful because it would suck me into him. But
yeah, he'll plug that up.
Yeah, he's going to actually be the panel after it's all said and done. But I mean, this is literally how I was sitting for about 3 hours from Chicago to Greensboro, North Carolina. But yeah, no, I felt terrible for that guy. And I wanted him to know that I go, hey man, it's all good. It's okay that you're enormous. I'm not getting, hey, I know you don't want to be enormous right now. I know it must be uncomfortable. I didn't like that. I felt bad that he was uncomfortable. He was reading a book. So he was sitting like this. And even him like this was still, I mean, that might have been the guy. I mean, this is like, no lie. Like he was literally that side. It was crazy. I couldn't believe it. But let's get into sports, shall we? Now that we're out of the nice boy clock and we can talk about some dirty dirty boys in the sports.
Beep 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 beep. Beep 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 beep.
And before we get to the story about Tucker, we will read some emails because I got some nice ones. Continuing to get nice outpouring about the Buffalo Bills. Here's the thing about the Bills game. Like, now that we're removed from it and as we approach the Super Bowl, there's been so many things about, the refs this, the NFL's doing this. They're talking about having electronic first down markers now so that they can't miss a first down if the ball does cross the goal or cross the line or what have you. And people are sending me all of these things. I'm not going to dwell on the loss. I gave you my 2 cents last week, and I said, this is a more familiar feeling. I don't know how I would be right. If the Bills were going into the Super Bowl this weekend, I don't even know that I would have shown up for a show today. I would be lost. I would be someplace, probably on a bender, like scared. I don't know how I would be able to act. I would be elated, perhaps. I don't know. Maybe I would be so happy that I'd come through the other side and actually be depressed about how happy I am because I'll never feel this happy again, and it's about a stupid football game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've thought all these thoughts. So I'm okay. But I do appreciate the outpouring. This email from Scott. It said, "Hey, Papa Roach, Scott here from Detroit. I was in Vegas back in December when the Bills beat the Lions, and it damn near ruined the end of my trip. I kicked rocks all down Fremont Street." I've been on that walk, friend. "After that defeat, though, I put $50 on them winning the AFC, the Bills, so we could have played again in the Super Bowl if Detroit had made it there. I'm sad about this weekend loss, but for financial sake and the love of your fandom of the Bills, I'm saying go Bills. Obviously, it didn't work out, but I got this email from you, friend, and I do appreciate it. I just wanted you to know that I appreciated that you put the money on the Bills." And then he had a follow-up that was like, "I'm sorry, did I jinx it?" But he has wrote since the booth days of YMH. Shout out Tit Cups for life. And I guess I should just do this show with Tit Cups on, for Christ's sake. Got to get some of the people back. You know what I mean? I got to get the Tit Cups back on. I'll put the Tit Cups back on if it means, you know what I mean? One more ride with the Tit Cups. I don't mind. I'm not against it. Today's Josh Potter Show is brought to us by DraftKings. Boy, oh boy, folks. You know what's coming up. It's not the little itty bitty teeny weeny bowl. No, it is the Super Bowl. Oh my God. And I can't believe I can say Super Bowl in an ad, but that's because DraftKings, the official sports book of the NFL. Get in on the actions at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 59. At that, my friends. And scoring touchdowns is key to hoisting the Vince Lombardi Trophy. And now it is your key to hoisting some fat stacks as well. You have a shot to score big by betting on touchdowns at DraftKings Sportsbook, the number one place to bet touchdowns. I'll tell you what I did. I bet Saquon Barkley plus, I forget what the odds were, but I bet him getting 2 touchdowns. Saquon Barkley. That's the way I went about it. You can pick and choose yours. All the touchdowns. Oh my God, and it's so much fun. And this is the last football game of the year, despite the fact that it is the Super Bowl. It's the last one. So, we got to cherish it. This is our last one for a whole year. New DraftKings customers, by the way, they can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's a lot of bullets. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code JoshPotter. That's code JoshPotter for new customers to get the $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. New customers only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. John Inglis sent me a little video here, by the way, for JoshPotterShow@gmail.com. And I think this is my dream girl, but sadly she's taken. Let's watch this. He sent this in to me. It involves
I vow to be truthful with you, to share with you my honest self, inside and out.
Pause it real
and
quick.
To hold no secrets.
So this guy is quivering and crying because he is doing his vows for his wedding to his wife. All right. I just want to give you some context if you're listening at home and not watching. There is a man on the screen, a man who is like, I'm not going to take anything away. This guy must have a lot going on. But let me just say this. Like, this guy is batting out of his fucking league, if you ask me. All right. Looks wise. I'm like, this guy's got this girl. Come on. I mean, I know the Roach probably not as boyishly handsome to a degree of this guy, but he's a dork. But I like him. I'm trying to take anything away from him. Anyhow, I'm tearing him down before we even... I'm just tearing this guy down because I'm like jealous of him. I'm completely so fucking green-eyed devil jealous of this fucking man. So I'm just shitting all over him. But I'm like, no, he's cool. No, he's cool though. No, he's cool. I get it, but he's cool, I guess. But, So anyway, here's the lady. Go back to the beginning so we can hear what he says.
I vow to be truthful with you, to share with you my honest self, inside and out, and to hold no secrets. But not always. Sometimes I may have to hold on to a secret bonus gift to give you during our ceremony. We're going to see the bills.
Pause it. Already I'm in love with her. Her first words in reaction to this is in front of people in their wedding. Her first reaction is fuck off. She goes, fuck off. I love her. Oh my God. There's children in there. They're videoing this. This is crazy. So then he presents her with Bills tickets and her head explodes. Lady, if you want Bills tickets, if that's all it takes, I'll buy you seasons. I mean, golly. Where are these girls? I guess they're in Buffalo. I guess, and that's why I got to go back. All right, go back for just a slightly and watch her reaction again.
During our ceremony.
Fuck off.
No! Oh my God! Seriously?
Can you pause it for a second? I don't know the backstory of where these people are. Like, if they're in Buffalo and she's freaking out about seeing the Bills this much, it's like, are they poor? I mean, why can't they go? Like, go see the Bills. It's not that hard. In fact, tickets are pretty cheap. They're not that expensive. I mean, that's one of the things because we are poor in Buffalo. I mean, so she's freaking out. Does it say where they're from? Do we have any? It doesn't say anything like that, but she is freaking out as if she lives in Zimbabwe or something, and there's no chance she ever gets to go see the Bills. All right, let's watch it again. Keep playing it.
Oh my God! Seriously? Oh my God! When?
When? What week? I mean, that's my second question, too. Like, what game are we going to? He's like, it's against the Jets. Ah. All right. Well, it'll still be fun. All right, keep it going.
When?
Secrets? We'll hold off on that.
We'll hold off on that. He doesn't know yet.
Some secrets can be fun.
We'll hold off on that. That's like, he's like, we got to figure out when we can go. That's actually smart on his part because what if he bought our tickets like the one weekend she can't go and she's pissed and then, that's actually a good play. And she can pick out her opponent. Oh, well, lady, if you get divorced, I got glasses too, and I'll buy you seasons, like I said. But now on to a man who I do believe is married, as a matter of fact. Isn't he all Christian and shit? Justin Tucker is his name, and he is the kicker of the Baltimore Ravens. And this man, remember we played many moons ago, I forget who was on the program, we played a song about Matt Stover, who was my fantasy football kicker at the time, Baltimore Ravens legend. And we played a song about him. He was a longtime kicker for the Ravens, and then Justin Tucker took over and has been the kicker now for, I want to say 8 seasons, maybe. I mean, can we Google how long Justin Tucker's been in the league? I know it was around the time they went to the Super Bowl, the last time they won the Super Bowl, back when they beat Jim Harbaugh, his brother. It was the Harbaugh Bowl in the Super Bowl. Jim Harbaugh versus John Harbaugh and the 49ers. That was many moons ago. I want to say 2012. Yes. So, yeah.
That was his first season.
That was his first season. And he became a hero for getting them to the Super Bowl with many clinching kicks and things like that. So he's been there since 2012. I mean, hell, 13 seasons. Wild. And he is married. I think, I'm pretty positive he's fucking married. Right? Married in 2015. So he's been married slightly less time of that. Big, like, Christian guy, always. He is now getting the Deshaun Watson treatment, and that is accusations of inappropriate sexual behavior by massage therapists. A tale as old as time. And so now people are up and I mean, this is the same thing. Deshaun Watson's got to be tap dancing someplace, even though he tore his Achilles. He's probably, super excited that a white Christian man also having this sort of accusation. Just what happened to Deshaun Watson, you ask, if you haven't been following along? He got suspended for 11 games, came back into the league, cut by his former team, the Houston Texans. They didn't want anything to do with him. And then he got, at the time, what was a record-setting contract from the Cleveland Browns for a very long time. Lots of guaranteed money, making sure that if we get Deshaun Watson back, who hasn't played for an entire season, just had surgery, and he's got all these accusations, he's settling out of court. I mean, what was the final verdict for the Deshaun Watson thing? I don't want to say anything that is liable, but I do believe he settled out of court with many of them, and they're still coming in. If you can figure that out, let me know. But then people are like, this guy got rewarded for such a thing. Well, the Cleveland Browns, don't worry, they didn't get rewarded for giving this much maligned man a record-setting contract. It has been a disaster, and now they're trying to figure out what's next. And they have a lot of dead cap money coming their way. And also, they're going to have more dead cap money because their star defensive end, Myles Garrett, asking for a trade just earlier today. So now they're going to have to be like, oh my God, we have all this. They're fucked for a long time.
It does say that multiple civil lawsuits, the settlements are confidential, but
exist.
For the guess is a total of 33 to 55 million that he said.
Ooh, good thing he's got all that guaranteed money from the Cleveland Browns. Thanks for paying that, Cleveland Browns. Can you look up his contract for me? What he signed with the Browns? Boy, oh boy. Deshaun Watson, though, considered one of the most prolific
5-year, $230 million.
5 years. I thought it was 10 years. 5 years, $230 million. What are the terms of it? Does it say down there like $72.9 million in the 1 year? I mean, there's a lot of guaranteed money. Am I wrong?
Second highest in the NFL.
Yeah, at the time it was the high. I mean, it was record setting, as I mentioned.
Restructure adds voidable year in 2028, giving the Browns a cap flexibility at 2026.
Yeah, in 2028.
Yeah. So they get a little bit of flexibility after 2026.
Yeah, too bad 2028's 3 years from now, and the guy just tore his Achilles again, and he sucks, for the record. He was out for an entire season, and now he blows. Jameis Winston was starting over him, whatever. But anyhow, as time has gone on, now Justin Tucker, the kicker of the Ravens, who has been the kicker, maybe he knew this was coming out because this season he actually showed signs of like slowing down. I don't know. Everyone was like, maybe Justin Tucker's just lost it. He was missing some things, missing some extra points, missing some kicks, and he was Mr. Money. I mean, he was like distance, power. He was like cranking kicks, always clutch too at the end of the games and everything like that. This season, he was missing some stuff. Now, you hear about these things coming out. Did he know, perhaps, this was coming down the pipe? Maybe that's why he was a little more rattled from off the field stuff. Today's Josh Potter Show is brought to us by Rocket Money. I can't tell you how much Rocket Money has helped me out. I mean, think about it. You sign up for something, right? The trial period ends, you get that free trial. You're like, oh, I'll cancel it once the free trial's over. Free trial ends, you don't even remember you did it. You get charged month after month after month. I actually just learned that 85% of people have at least one paid subscription going unused each month. That made me feel better because I had like a bazillion of them, I'll tell you. But thanks to Rocket Money, I can now see all the subscriptions in one place, and then I get to cancel the ones I'm not using. And I'm saving more money than ever before. It's crazy. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps you find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions. It monitors your spending and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features. So cancel those unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/Potter today. That's rocketmoney.com/Potter. rocketmoney.com/Potter. But let's get into what the accusations are for old Justin Tucker here. He's not Matt Stover. Ravens kicker Justin Tucker engaged in inappropriate behavior at 4 high-end spas and wellness centers in the Baltimore region. Now I think that differentiates him from Deshaun Watson, because to give you an idea of what was going on with Deshaun Watson, allegedly, I'll throw that in there in case I have to. With Deshaun Watson, he was being accused of from massage therapists who are not high-end spa stuff. I'm talking medical treatment grade massage therapists. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Ones that they would have at the facilities of athletic departments and things like that. And he would say, can you get the glutes real good? And they're like, sure, that's a medical technical thing for that kind of shit. But Deshaun Watson, I guess, thought the glutes were inside his asshole. Because that's where he was spreading and come on, get in there.
You got to get from the inside out.
Got to get inside there. Milk it. Milk my glutes. I don't think that's how it works. Milk the glutes if you can. But anyhow, just to point out, these guys are not going to Thai places, okay? You know what I mean? They're not going to strip malls and doing it like Robert Kraft did, kind of. But he's the only NFL. He only had the smarts to go there. But so evidently Justin Tucker going to high-end spas and wellness centers. Now that's hot chick stuff. That's not, I don't think these people get degrees. I think they're just babes who do this. Do you know what I mean? This is that kind of thing. Again, not a Thai place in a strip mall. This is this isn't some 50-year-old lady with good grip who knows what she's doing in that regard. You want touch? You want touch here? Now, these are in the Baltimore region, evidently. According to 6 massage therapists, including he did things including exposing his genitals. Don't you do that? Now, I'm not defending him. I think he's a scumbag. I'm throwing that out there right now. I just want him to go. I don't know why. But don't you expose your genitals? I've never been to one of these places. I've never even been to the Thai ones. I'm saying doesn't it get exposed? You have the towels, you have to lay on the thing. I guess you have a towel on your
I think you're supposed to have
waist,
a towel,
right?
over your butt.
Is that policy? Have any of you ever gotten massages?
I go to the Thai places.
You go to the Thai places.
I do. Yeah.
Now that's good knowledge because we can compare and contrast. I'm assuming the rules are different at a high-end wellness center.
Yes.
So what at a Thai place? Give me the rundown of how that exchange goes.
The Thai place, they're not expecting you to cover up at all.
You go in naked.
You're laying down, butt naked, butt up.
Butt up. Not penis up.
No, you don't start penis up. That's a little aggressive.
Okay. I don't know. I'm glad I asked.
Yeah.
All right.
And then they come in and they wipe you down with a towel and they do the whole massage and then they ask if you would like a gentleman's massage at the end.
A gentleman's massage. Gentleman, do you want a massage?
Because they flip you over. They do the whole back.
They flip you over.
Then they flip you over. You're not covered. And then they massage your front and they ask if you'd like.
I don't know if I'd be able to get hard in that situation. I don't know why. I'm such a fucking in my own head guy, sexually, that I don't even know. I'd be like, I want it so bad. But I'm just thinking, honestly, I don't want to waste your time, lady. I know you other guys you got to jerk off over there, and I don't want to wear out your arm here. I'll start getting self-conscious about how long it's taking. Oh, that's good to know, though. So in here at these places, probably a towel is policy.
Yes.
Okay. So including exposing his genitals, brushing 2 of them with his exposed penis. Now that one That's where I go, oh, okay. I mean, you could add a towel on. You're not brushing. Imagine having being like, oh, it's so big. Sorry. I didn't, whoa, I don't even know where this thing's going half the time. My bad there. He brushed 2 of them evidently with his exposed penis and leaving what they believe to be ejaculate on the massage table after 3 of his treatments. Now, again, this isn't a defense of anything, but what if they're doing that? What if that's just a sign of how good they're doing? Maybe they're just really good massage therapists. Oh my God, when you were, I don't know, massaging my traps. I don't know what they do. What's a muscle? When you were massaging my thighs, I just came. I'm sorry. I mean, golly. I mean, what is their accusation here, though, really? Was he jerking off onto the table? Like, did they leave him alone in the room so that he could be like, and what's his line of thinking if he is doing that? Like, it's going to be really hot if I just leave my cum on the table. I really don't understand the ejaculate part. I feel like that could happen a bunch of times. That could happen at any given moment. You have these hot chicks like just fucking rubbing you down. What if that just feels so good that they come? I don't know. I would take it as a compliment. Anyhow, that's like a Yelp review.
5
I got
stars.
5 comes. But anyhow, several therapists have come out to say that Tucker's behavior was so egregious that they ended his sessions early or refused to work with him again. So that means he's talking shit too. He's like, well, why don't you massage my balls or something? You know what I mean? He's doing something where they're like, Jesus, dude, you got to chill. And then he was so crazy that they ended the sessions early and they refused to ever work on him again. You think he'd get banned from the place, but it's some scumbag owner of the wellness center who's like, that's Justin Tucker.
No, 2 spas actually banned him.
Oh, okay. Well, and 2 spas, management said, banned him. There it is. Next sentence. Could have read that. Attorneys for Tucker denied the allegations of inappropriate behavior, calling them speculative and impossible to prove. Well, that's what he's hoping. He goes, I thought this was impossible to prove. And they go, sure is. How do they know that's your jizz? How do they know it's jizz at all? What are they? They also denied Tucker ever ejaculated at the spa. Yeah, I would have denied that too. A Ravens spokesman said, we take any allegations of this nature seriously and will continue to monitor the situation. The NFL said it'll look into the matter. Oh, I bet. Sure looked into the Robert Kraft one. Tucker released a lengthy statement on X, formerly Twitter, after the story published denying the allegations and criticizing the banner's reporting process. Now, Justin Tucker, this is one of those situations where, his statement was, I'm not even going to read it. I don't even want to see it. It was, because I saw it, but I didn't read it. Because look at this fucking thing. What is this, a fucking terms and service agreement? God damn, we're going to read all that? We get it. You're saying you didn't do it. This is one of those cases where silence is better. Do you know what I'm saying? Just let it wash out in the court process. You got to not, this makes him look guilty. I go, this guy wrote a lot of words and I'm not going to read them. So I have no idea what they say, but I'm starting to think he's talking a little too much about it. You know what I'm saying? Most of the 6 women who shared firsthand accounts said that they had not known each other before being contacted by the banner. Yet they gave strikingly similar accounts of Tucker's behavior. So that means the reporter did his work in being like, do you know who this so-and-so is and so-and-so is? And they're like, no, I have no idea who that person is. And then they corroborated the same story. 5 of the women said Tucker asked them to massage his pelvic region or inner thighs while he had an erection. Well, that's just bad timing. I just happen to have an erection while you have to do this. No, I'm not defending him in any way. This is not it. He's going down. I'm glad. 5 of the women said Tucker asked them to massage his pelvic region or inner thighs whilst he had an erection, then said he repeatedly wiggled his pelvis to remove the sheets, which fully or partially exposed his genitals. What's he doing? People who do this, do they just think, this chick's going to want to jerk me off? You know what I mean? I wouldn't have the confidence to try and pull this off in any way. Just being like I would accidentally be hard, maybe. I can see that happening. And I would apologize profusely. Or I would actually fear getting hard and it would make me soft.
There's got to be a better way to proposition this than just rubbing your dick on her, right?
How about you just ask him out on a bar or something? That's the thing. These guys, are so like, this guy's married. He's thinking like, well, if I get jerked off at the spa, that's not cheating. Maybe that's how married guys think. I don't know. I'm not having sex. It's a massage. And if I come, so be it. It's not cheating. Maybe that's how it works with these guys, especially the Christian sort. Justin Tucker. Then they said he repeatedly wiggled his pelvis to remove the sheets which fully partially exposed his genitals. 2 women said Tucker brushed them with his exposed penis. Is that him on the table just being like, like as they're like massaging like up here or something? He's like, It's so weird. That's fucking weird. 3 said when they returned to the treatment room after Tucker left, they discovered a large wet spot on the massive table, which they strongly believed to be ejaculate. That's just I want her to know that she did a good job. That's fucking weird, dude. Why would you leave the ejaculate? I mean, that's the other thing. Like, could it have been anything else? I don't know. I've never been in this atmosphere. I mean, I always wonder this when accusations of ejaculate, and we've talked about it during semen terrorism. He's a semen terrorist technically. If he did in fact ejaculate onto the massage table, that is semen terrorism, and he should go to Guantanamo Bay if you ask me. But I never understand how they figure out it's semen. I would never jump to semen.
But like,
I would jump to like, maybe it's drool. Maybe it's not like, is it that?
There's one thing that looks like semen that it could be that comes out of the body. Like, it's not one of their like lotions or things that like.
Yeah, but again,
like
couldn't
stuff.
be a lotion or something?
Yeah, but they would like know
My
what that
jizz,
looks and
is something
smells like.
wrong with my jizz? It is not like staining.
I mean, I just think if you leave a pool of jizz looks different than a pool of sweat or pee or drool or spit or
Well, yeah, and it's
diarrhea
sprayed.
or,
I want to
yeah,
see
or
how it's splayed upon the table. Like,
He
is
left
this just
splooges on the table? Like,
is this just like a pool of it, or are we talking like a spray? Like we got like a splayed out spray of it. You know what I'm saying? Like they have to tell you this in the article if you ask me. I want a detailed description of what she fucking came across. You can't just say speculate to believe ejaculate or whatever. I want to know, was it one circle? Was he doing droplets? Like I could then parse together. I'm like a fucking jizz detective. I want to know all this stuff. I got to see how it's laid out so I could then reverse engineer the crime. You know what I mean? It's like when you walk into a crime scene and they see like, they assess things based on how the brains are sprayed after the guy gets shot in the head. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to know those things.
no, I feel like in the Mindhunter version of this, like you, if you spill something accidentally, you have towels there and you can clean it.
I can tell.
He left it.
Well, that's
there
my
on
point. I can
purpose.
tell if it's. I should be called into these situations to be like, we have a suspected ejaculate, and then I can go in and be like,
Cum spatter analysis.
and I'm asking a wrong. Yes, exactly. I can CSI it. Exactly. SVU it. Special victims. The women say the incidents took place from 2012, which is his rookie season with the Ravens, to 2016, a year after he married his college sweetheart. Also, that's nice. He stopped. That's kind of romantic. I mean, he was doing it when he was a young guy in the league. Then he got married and he kind of fucked around a little bit for that 1 year because he got married in 2015. So 2016, he was like, he had one last little go. And then he was like, you know what? I can't do this to my sweet wife. But he said he married his college sweetheart, so he was dating her when he was doing it.
Yeah. They were apparently dating since they were 18.
Yeah. Okay, so he was doing it while he was with her. Maybe he was like, you know what? I'm married now, man. I can't fuck around like this. I took the vows, dude. I took the vows. I vow to never have my penis jerked off at a massage parlor again. Sounds like he wasn't even having his dick jerked off. He was just like brushing it on them and jizzing onto the table after they left the room. The massage therapists, many of whom were in their early 20s at the time, described the mix of emotions they felt treating Tucker, a high-profile professional star whom the spas were proud to book. At Oha's in Pikeville, which was patronized by many members of the Ravens, the staff at times wore T-shirts that said, "Purple and black, we've got your back." Like a massage. Oh, that's cute. We can tell if it's intentional or just an accident, and this was intentional. Oh, so they know. Okay, that's interesting. Now, I like that little tidbit of advice. That was from one of the massage therapists. A therapist who said Tucker touched her wrist with his naked and semi-erect penis during a massage at the OHA's location. So that's a good thing to note. They can tell when it's intentional and when it's just an accident. So I feel relieved actually knowing that. Because then they're massaging me and they're like, "Aw, that's sweet. He's got a little boner. Aw. It's okay." Then they tell me it's okay and I go, "Thank you." This one was like, he's just jerking his dick off. That would be crazy. Tucker's lawyer said it is unremarkable and not news that he might become exposed during a massage. I mean, come on, what are we talking about here? Athletes often shift around due to the discomfort that accompanies body work, and massage therapists themselves are the ones who adjust coverings, they said. But the therapists were unequivocal in their belief that Tucker's behavior was unusual, inappropriate, and intentional. Roughly a decade after the alleged incidents, the therapist said that they remain haunted by his actions. Depending on the outcome of the investigation, Tucker could be found in violation of NFL and team rules. Oh, you don't say. Now, this is the thing. I mean, I guess they have to do the investigation and yada, yada, yada. But here's what's going to happen. If they do not treat this with the magnitude of which they treated Deshaun Watson, it is going to become a race thing. And then you can put end racism in the back of each end zone all you want. People are going to freak out. And so I think Justin Tucker may actually, despite the fact that it is lesser in terms of accusations, in terms of number of his accusations, I think Justin Tucker might find himself getting a worse punishment. And this might just be the last time we hear from Justin Tucker until he does like a right-wing grifter podcast down the road. Because I think potentially he'll get suspended for a season. And then he's old enough anyway. He's not coming back. So he's just going to retire and forego the suspension or what have you. I don't know if he's allowed to do that or how that would then there would be no punishment in that case if he just outright retired. One of the therapists recalled that Tucker arrived at his appointment in Ravens gear from head to toe. He's just still in shoulder pads and a helmet. That's crazy. He's got his cleats on. He made it a point to tell me, "I'm a kicker. I play for the Ravens. Jerk my dick off." God, if that's not a "do you know who I am?" Tucker asked this therapist to focus on his, oh no, he pulled a Deshaun. Tucker asked Jay, the therapist, to focus on his gluteal muscles and inner thighs, but kept moving to expose himself. Oh no, here we are. Listen to this account. "I tucked him in like a baby, but he kept repositioning himself so I would brush against his exposed penis." Why did she say like a baby? That makes it sound sexual too. "I tucked him in like a little baby." Yeah, I don't get that one.
Like swaddled him?
Yeah, "I tucked him in like a little baby and he's still like you're coming out of your die-dye, little baby." He kept repositioning himself so I would brush against it. His exposed penis, she said, prompting her to stop massaging his thighs and move to a different area of his body. "That is not normal massage behavior," she said. "I've done hundreds, and I've never said someone else do that." After the massage, she found a huge wet spot that she believed to be ejaculate in the middle of the massage table where his pelvis had been. What if he just shit himself? What if he had like discharge out of his dildo, his ass? I mean, that's weird to be in the middle. How does he get it on there? What's huge too? What are we talking? You know? How much cum? What's the diameter or what circumference? Circumference? What's the one that goes all the way across? Diameter?
Yes.
All right.
Surface area?
What's the Well, we need to know that too because surface area or like was there a meniscus on it? Do you know what I'm saying? Did it have surface tension? How high was the pile of jizz? Need to know the details. before I can actually make a verdict. Tucker's attorney said that he's having body work performed on an NFL kicker's thighs was typical and not sensual. Well, yeah, I would imagine. He's like, I'm a kicker. He comes in head to toe. He goes, these girls always think I'm trying to rub my dick on them. I just want to tell them I'm the kicker. You got to get really in there. They added that there was a myriad of explanations for why a massage table would appear damp, suggesting it could have been sweat or body oil, and that the therapist's observation of ejaculate was a wild and inherently improbable conclusion. It was semen. I know what semen looks like, the woman responded. I've dated men. See, that's good. Now that, Your Honor, my client, not to say a whore, but let's just say she's been around some guys. Real sommelier when it comes to this kind of thing. Now I trust her. That is a good character witness. Your Honor, my client knows what semen looks like. I cannot, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I cannot emphasize enough that my client knows some jizz. Let's get to some news stories. We'll keep you updated on what goes on with old Justin Tucker.
Oh,
I forgot to do this earlier. I forgot to play this earlier. We were talking about the planes. I mean, it is a tragedy, folks. Obviously, it's very sad. It's awful. It's terrible. It's a tragic, tragic event. But when Trump said, when they asked him if he was going to visit the site, I mean, that's objectively hilarious. I mean, listen, it's fucking hilarious. I mean, come on, it's fucking funny.
Do you have a plan to go visit the site or meet with any of the
I have a
first
plan
responders?
to visit, not the site, because you tell me what's the site? The water?
Or to meet with
Want me
the
to go
first
swimming?
responders. Do you have a
I
plan
mean, that's fucking funny, dude. You know, he just hates that chick, and he's just like, yeah, I'm going to go down there, but like, what's the site? You want me to go visit the site? What do you want me to go swim? I mean, that shit.
The water?
or to meet
Want
with
me
the
to go
first
swimming?
responders?
That made me laugh. We need, I think even the people who passed in the tragic event would laugh at that. I mean, that is beyond funny. Everyone would laugh. I mean, that's just comedy, folks. Come on. Oh boy. But let me see here. This is the story. I'll start with this one. Top of the principal party. Got this one from so many folks. Oh my goodness. You're talking about Diddy parties. You're talking about Justin Tucker. This is wild. I mean, this happening locally from a school. I can't tell you how many. I mean, I think a dozen people sent me this article to JoshPotterShow at gmail.com. Cocoa Beach police allege. Is there a story about this? Ooh, let's watch it. I want to see this news story. And you know it's in Cocoa Beach, so we're going to see some babes. Lucy. Oh boy, so happy they're on board here at the Josh Potter Show. Boy, oh boy, I love them. Lucy breakers are nicotine pouches with an extra little surprise. You just do a little, and you get that extra rush of flavor. Oh my goodness. I'll tell you, it's actually like helped me wean off of these a lot. And I'm having a lot of fun. I'm putting them in when I'm gaming. I'm putting them in when I'm doing a bunch of stuff. When I'm going on stage, I can have one on stage. People don't even know. It's crazy. I love it. That little capsule, though, that goes a long way. It can just pop it, gets broken. That extra flavor and hydration's released. And now, by the way, you can set yourself up with a subscription to have Lucy delivered straight to your door. That means you don't have to go to the gas station. You don't have to go to the convenience store if you're just like laying around. You just get them delivered. Boom, you got them on tap, baby. So level up your nicotine routine with Lucy. Go to lucy.co/Potter. Use promo code Potter to get 20% off your first order. And Lucy has a 30-day refund policy if you change your mind about it. Again, that's lucy.co. Use code Potter to get 20% off. And here comes the old fine print. Lucy products are only for adults of legal age, and every order is age verified. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Roosevelt Elementary Principal
All right, pause it.
Elizabeth Hill Brodigan and
So far, no babes. But these are our suspects. Go ahead.
Principal Elizabeth Hill Brodigan and third grade teacher Carly Anderson are out on bond after being charged with child abuse and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. It all stems from a house party that involved underage drinking and drugs, according to police. Today, we went to the addresses listed
Ooh,
for
pause it. WESH, we've been there how many times? I mean, this is like, I might as well work for this fucking news station down in Orlando. Megan Moriarty, I feel like we've seen. I feel like we've seen her work before.
I think she was on our New Year's show.
She was on the New Year's show. Yes, you're right. So they're outside this Florida home. This is such a Florida home. This is the kind of house a principal gets. Good God. Cocoa Beach, Florida. All right, go ahead.
Brodigan and Anderson to get their side of the story. No one answered the door at the principal's home. And when we knocked on Anderson's door, a man answered but quickly said no when we asked for the teacher and closed the door. Over at Roosevelt Elementary
Can you pause
School,
it? I love that they just showed her walking up to the door. She did. Look, those houses could have been anybody's. And she's doxing these people. 21. I mean, we're seeing numbers. These could just be any house, though, to be honest. We just see her walking up. All right, well, get me walking up, you know what I mean? Okay,
principal's home. And when we knocked on Anderson's door, a man answered but quickly said no when we asked for the teacher and closed the door. Over at Roosevelt Elementary School, some parents were upset about the news.
We got you kids who look up to that teacher, that principal, you know?
Look up to, pause it there. Yeah, I mean, what are we talking about? I mean, yeah, it's bad. You shouldn't do it. It's bad. But look up to, I look up to that principal. No, they liked hanging out with her because she was giving them weed and fucking booze. Look up to, go ahead.
She loves her principal.
The party happened on January 9th.
I would too. I'd love my principal having keggers. My favorite principal ever. Go ahead.
The principal's home, according to police. When officers responded, they observed a vehicle run the stop sign and almost strike his vehicle. They pulled the driver over.
Oh my God, pause it. So there's just one dildo kid that just left the party fucked up and like almost hit a cop car. And now everyone's like, oh, fucking Brian. Now he can't go have keggers at the principal's party because Brian's a fucking idiot driving into a cop car. Go ahead.
Strike his vehicle. They pulled the driver over and discovered 2 intoxicated female juveniles in the vehicle.
Oh, it's a chick.
Around the same time, another officer found a male juvenile vomiting and shaking in the principal's front yard.
Pause it. Fucking, like, they just, what a fucking dork, can't even handle his booze. Now we can't go party at the principal's house. This is like this is going to be good news for this principal. This is going to be a movie someday. I mean, this is like Project X. I mean, it's crazy that they were just having and what kind of fucking scumbag? I mean, who wants to hang out with high school kids?
Okay, zoom out.
I sound like fucking Sebastian, man. I'm like, who wants to hang out with a high school kid?
She's straight up giving these kids alcohol poisoning.
Well, yeah, she's letting them do whatever they want.
Vomiting and
so that's what happens when you used to go to a house party in high school, you would drink in excess. It's binge drinking. It's how you kind of learn how to get through. I mean, everyone's done it, and they're high school kids. So every party in high school had that one kid who was like fucking in the leaves outside in the backyard vomiting his face off. You just hope he didn't die. You go out there, bring him water, and you just go like, you didn't think they were going to die back then. Of course, every now and then, you know, you hear a story about someone losing one. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. Because they choke on their puke or what have you. But yeah, it's basically like she's there. I mean, I'm all of a sudden expanding. I don't know what the deal is. My brain is just expanding the story of this principal and just thinking to a origin story of them not getting invited to parties in high school. So they spent their life going like, how can I be the coolest one in high school? I can be the principal, and then I can have all the parties, and I can have all the cool kids over. I feel like that's what's going on. I mean, did you see what these ladies look like? Anyhow.
Officers say at that time, Elizabeth Hill Brodigan walked outside of her residence and stood at the top of the driveway. She then walked inside and turned off all the lights in front of her home.
Oh my God, pause it. That is what you do in high school. You think, maybe they won't think we're home. The cops were out front. I remember there was a college party I was at, and it was like, you know, I was 20 probably. I think I was exactly 20. It was like, I was about to be 21. Everyone at this party was like 19, 20 years old. So still underage drinkers, but we all were in this like apartment complex for college. It was a college like apartment, off campus type stuff. So because it was off campus, they had off duty cops as like security, and they would bust up parties. It was awful. We thought like, we're off campus. We can have we're living on this rent's expensive. We can have parties, you know, and we'd go down to I was dating a girl down at the first floor. We'd go down to her house for a party, and we're down there for like a big party. We're smoking weed in the bathrooms. And weed's illegal at the time, obviously. And we're obviously underage drinking. We're doing other things too, you know. And all of a sudden the cops knock on the door. There are 30 people in there. It is a keg in a 3-bedroom apartment. And everyone just like hides as if we can hide. I went in the bathroom and hid in a closet. And then like a bunch of people were like, I remember me and this girl, we hid in a closet, and the cops eventually got let in or came in because they were like, you better fucking. So they got let in and they go, everyone out in the living room. And we were like, just stay here. They're not going to have any idea. Of course, they came around the fucking apartment and looking for people, and they found us. And they're like, get the fuck out here. I'm like, okay. And they didn't do anything. That they were just like lectured us, and then that was the end of it. I mean, they couldn't really do anything, I don't think. And some of us lived there. So, you know, it's like, what are we going to just go upstairs? The people that didn't live there was really probably more of an issue. But anyhow, yeah, we used to get parties get broken up by cops all the time at that fucking apartment. It was annoying, actually. We were playing quarters one night, just like 4 of us sitting around a table playing quarters. And these cops were walking by and go, we had a noise complaint. We're playing quarters. No one called about quarters unless they were like, that damn quarter bouncing was pissing someone upstairs off or something. I don't know. But yeah, we had so many different incidents of that thing. But yeah, this one, yeah, turning the lights off is such a fucking move for a high school kid. If I'm this lady, I'm going out the back door and I'm telling like one of the kids at the party, hey, just say you don't know whose house this is. All right, go ahead.
Police say third-grade teacher Carly Anderson approached officers. Her speech was slow and slurred. She also had mood swings. During their interaction, she acknowledged there were 200 kids at the residence.
Oh, my God. Why would you want this environment at your house? Not only because you're the principal. That's like one reason you shouldn't want to do it, right? But also because who wants 200 kids drinking at their house? That sounds like a nightmare. I like to drink. I like to go to bars. I like to party. I don't want this environment ever again. I never would want that.
There's also just no way that doesn't get out. Like 200, there's no way 200 people are keeping a secret.
Yeah, these are the people educating your children. They can't put 2 and 2 together or think of follow-up consequences like, yeah, there's no way anyone's going to tell. Go ahead.
Drinking. Through interviews with students 2 days later, police learned these parties happened once or twice a month.
Oh, my God.
I hope they
Is this lady not... I mean, she clearly doesn't have a life. Is this a Ma incident? Remember that movie Ma, where she would let the kids party, and then she was like, but really, I want to suck the hottest one's dick. Is that what's going on here? She's trying to fuck the football star?
Or like the mom that used to like dare the kids to fuck each other.
Yeah, and then she gets off. Yeah, there was always the stories of those. Yeah, that's... I mean, golly. Euphoria is not so far off, is it? Go ahead.
I hope they just kind of get their act together and just find the right principal and responsible adults that can run a school. And
yeah, you didn't think it wouldn't be so hard. But boy, oh boy, they really missed the mark on this one.
Kids in the community.
That's the end of it.
Was the one, she said, a 3rd grade teacher?
Yeah, I think so.
So these weren't her kids. She's like, hey, and when you get to high school, we're going to rage. She's telling her 3rd graders. Oh, my God. Well, thank you to all the folks who sent that bad boy in to JoshPotterShow at gmail.com. We talked a little bit about semen terrorism, what with Justin Tucker and all. Well, Lori Ann sent in a fine article that isn't quite semen terrorism, but it is a... terrorism of a different color, I do believe. Where's my terrorism button? I don't even remember. It's been so long since we have had a terror thing.
The terror. I call upon all nations to do everything they can to stop these terrorist killers. Thank you. Now watch this drive.
A woman has admitted to harassing her boyfriend's ex-partner by sending her videos of herself farting. Wow, unsolicited farts. Unbelievable. Isn't that great? You know, communication in this world and technology and everything else has made it so I can FaceTime my mom 3,000 miles away. It's also made it so you can send unsolicited dick pics. And now, unsolicited fart videos, evidently. How do you say this name? Rhiannon? I never know. It's the name of a Fleetwood Mac song too, right?
Yeah, I want to say it's Rhiannon.
Rhiannon Evans, 25 of Caner Fawn, Gwended. Is this like foreign shit? Yeah, the UK. So someplace over across the old big drink.
I think it's an Irish name. It might be Ireland.
Oh, well, same old to me, I guess. Pleaded guilty to pursuing a course of conduct amounting to the harassment of Deborah Pryturch by sending inappropriate videos. The original malicious communications. Who's writing this article, for the record? Good God. Some British guys making me jump through linguistic hoops. Charge listed against the shop worker described that she sent several videos of herself farting. It's believed to be the first case involving cyber farting. Oh my God, we have a new thing. Cyber farting. At least you can't smell it. That's going to be the one thing, though, that's going to happen. They're going to make it so you can smell videos. And cyber farting is really going to take off. That is going to be the uptick. Because now it's just noise. You're just doing noise. I don't know how she's doing it either. Is she showing her asshole whilst farting? Is she like got it on her butt? Or is she just sitting there looking into the camera and just being like, what's up? Prosecutor Diane Williams told magistrates that in the first video, she proceeds to pass gas by placing the camera on her bottom and then passing the gas. Imagine being in court. I want to be the reporter for this one. You're right, passing gas. How many times? Unbelievable. Imagine getting jury duty and getting this case. What a glorious time. That's when you go, there is a God and he is blessing me. On December 22nd, there were 3 more videos of her letting rip. Now this guy totally abandoned all the flowery language he had earlier in the article. In the next few days, there were another 4 of the same nature. Miss Evans passing wind, her face smiling at the camera. Oh, that's more nefarious when she's just looking at it. Anyhow, her tooting continued. This guy sucks, this writer. Her tooting continued on Boxing Day and New Year's Day. It's nice that she is doing it on the holidays. She goes, you know what I think of on the holidays? I'm going to send a fart to this guy. The victim said in a statement, I would like to feel safe in my home. What the fuck? She doesn't feel safe. Oh my God. Could you imagine getting someone sending you? I would just go on Facebook and be like, so-and-so keeps sending me her farting. What a weirdo. And then everyone would be like, this is nuts, LOL. This lady's like, I don't feel safe in my home. The farts, she's going to come fart on me. What does she think is going to happen? Evans had been arrested at her home. She admitted that she had sent the video. She suggested that she wanted to send videos because she felt her partner was being treated unfairly. I don't understand the back and forth of this. Have you put 2 and 2 together for like who's partner and ex-partner? I don't really care. I just know one lady sending another lady farts. And that's hilarious. What if she put the smells of each one in a jar and sent that one? That'd be crazy. We got this jar. It's just dated Boxing Day or whatever.
So I believe it's her current boyfriend, and she's sending them to his ex.
Wild. Imagine being that boyfriend. What a proud boyfriend you must be. My lady, she gets a little jealous. So Harriet Gorst defending said, there are some issues going on between Miss Evans' partner and his ex-partner with regard to child contact. Oh, good, a child's involved with this nonsense. The lawyer said at the time she sent these videos, she had some drinks and she sent them, understanding now this has caused the victim some distress. She sent them without malicious intent. Yeah, what could the malicious intent be? I'm going to come fart on you. I'm going to give you pink eye in your sleep. Look out. Evans was said to have mental health problems. The magistrates imposed 15 rehab sessions, 60 days of alcohol abstinence monitoring, and 2-year restraining order. Imagine being such like a little Dennis the Menace. You're like, I'm going to do a little LOL and send a fart to so-and-so's ex. And then you're having to admit in a court of law that you have mental issues just so you get a lesser sentence. I mean, what is going on in Ireland where this wasn't immediately thrown out? Evans must pay 100 euros or whatever the hell, pounds, I guess, compensation, and 199 pounds costs. That's not even that much. She mustn't contact the victim. A probation officer said she had been in a relationship for 2 years and there was bad blood with her boyfriend's ex-partner. She hadn't thought sending the videos was a criminal offense. Who would? I mean, if that's a criminal offense, my group chat with my pals in high school is a fucking, I mean, we're a bunch of Osama bin Ladens based off of that because, good God. The defendant questioned why she hadn't been blocked. Evans had a difficult upbringing, the court heard. Oh my God, now you're bringing up your own. I had such a tough childhood, so that's led me to farting in videos and sending it. Unbelievable. What a wild, wild story.
The terror. I call upon all nations to do everything they can to stop these terrorist killers. Thank you. Now watch this drive.
Boy, oh boy.
Now watch this fart.
Yeah, right. Why? Yeah, I guess that's all you can do. You can't smell it. I guess you can hear it. Can't taste it. Nothing. But that's it for me, folks. Thank you so much for joining us once again here at the old Josh Potter Show. Thank you to both Alexes. Alex Q. Is this your last day or is it next week?
No, next week is my last day.
Alex's last day is coming up. You think I drive these guys away the way we're running through producers in this show's history? How long have I been on the air? 3 years? Yeah. It's been about a trillion producers.
3.5.
But that's all right. Alex has got a cool gig, so we're excited for him. But we'll get all into that next week. Thank you to both Alexes, though. Thank you to Lee. Thank you to Brian. And thank you to you at home. JoshPotterShow@gmail.com. That's where you can send in everything, just like so many of the Roach reporters did. Thank you to Lori Ann for the fart terror story. I do appreciate it. And we will see you next time. We spent a lot of time with Justin Tucker, but
now watch this drive.
Thank you, George Bush. JoshPotterShow@gmail.com. That's where you send things in. And other than that, thejoshpotter.com is where you can go and find out where I'm going to be coming. Let me know if I can come to your town. And make sure you rate, review, subscribe, tell your friends, for God's sakes. And we'll see you next Wednesday here on The Josh Potter Show.
Coming to 11 direct with the Roach. We shotgun the beers, ain't got time for a toast. It's the only place I get my sports like for real, son. He taught us nobody's more sus than Russell Wilson.
Here's the deal, son. Won't find us in Walmart. Josh Potter, keep it frank, kinda like a ballpark. It wasn't nothing talking all that jism. Turns out there's a lot of semen terrorism.
Now it's time we hit him. Bringing Votto to the plate. Roachy, your wards with Chase O'Donnell the Great. Let me stop for a second, cause it's Ask Marty time. Cause it's idiocy, you know I cannot abide.
Not a fan of these guys, gonna damage the rise. Worse than the host known as the Roach. Leave an idiot woman standing on the side or looking like she just tripped into a moat.
I'ma kill this Henny beat like murder. Been in more studios than most have ever heard. I'm pleased to be listening. Hit that like and subscribe. So many Bills hats got the mafia vibe.
A lot to describe like a Roach reporter. Teacher on OF, don't report her. Trying to live life with my mannequin wife and my mannequin kids if that's my mannequin right.
Been a fan of this guy since a Roach Motel. Couple 100 weeks in, still funny as hell. From the tit cups to back sis and blind eyes, Potter has one of the best shows of all time.
Now watch this drive. Pop a couple tall cans with the Roach King and caught the vibe. Ready to pour more, scurry out the floorboards, hit like, comment, and subscribe.